Welcome everybody to another edition of WCW 2003 as we're continuing the road to Starrcade after a big Mayhem card, as it's time for the road to Starrcade to actually begin. We've already got our main event of Eddie Guerrero versus Conan all set up, but let's start building the rest of the card as we're live from Landover, Maryland. So we're starting out with our poor pre-show match as Eric Parrish, Jack Evans, and Paul London, the random high-flying babyface, defeat Mark Jindrak, Reno, and Shannon Moore in 1527 when Paul London pinned Mark Jindrak with London calling. This gets a 71, London gets a 72, Jack Evans gets a 64, Eric Parrish gets a 69, Shannon Moore gets a 43, Reno gets a 59, Mark Jindrak gets a 64. Perfectly fine pre-show match. Give these guys some in-ring time, and there we go. So then, we start off the show with Sean O'Hare coming to the ring and cutting a promo. And wow, what a fucking promo it is. That's 100. So basically, like, he comes out and says, he's a little, he's got some bruises, his bell's a little rung, but he stands here as winner of the Mayhem tournament, fighting through 32 men to have a guaranteed shot at the WC World title. And here's the thing, I'm a fighter. I was proud to fight through everybody in that ring. I was proud to fight in that ladder match last night and prove that I'm the future of this business, and I'm proud to take on anyone, whether it's Canyon or Guerrero, who wins at Starrcade. And, but because I know I have the support of the fans, want to look towards the future and know the future is bright with me at the top of the WCW. And I'm, and want to thank fans for their support and know that in the future, the World Championship will get a future shock. So 100, really good promo. Almost like Sean O'Hare is good at these things. But yeah, just insanely good promo to start things off. And then we go backstage. Basically, well, first we have the entrance doing a big tag team match hype for our first hour main event, as it'll be the Los Guerreros teaming up to take on the Horseman team of Jeff Jarrett and Shane Douglas. So then we go backstage. Yeah, then we go backstage. Where basically Air Raid and Hart Legacy agree to a match next week. Where basically, they're both hurting. AJ Styles and Eric Parrish are upset. They basically got screwed out of the cruiserweight title, even though they playfully, argue over who would actually won the match. Air Raid Hart Legacy are upset that they lost. They AEW snuck out with the tag titles last night after winning by DQ, but they both really stopped. They're to the two top teams, so next week let's put on a show and let's see who deserves to get the next shot at America's Wanted. They shake hands, everybody's a good babyface, and there we go. 64, solid stuff. Then we go to our ring for our opening match of the night, which is an abysmal match. That's mean. Amber O'Neal and Lexi James drew with Beth Phoenix and Angel Fox in 8:34 following a double countout. This gets a 58. Lexi James gets a 43. Amber O'Neal gets a 48. Angel Fox gets a 56. Beth Phoenix gets a 46. So again, perfectly solid tag match between sort of basically some of the better women in the promotion, but everything just devolves down to a brawl, and nothing is really. We've got nothing figured out. We'll be facing Gail Kim at Starrcade. As after this, they just continue to fight. As this gets a 52. Yeah, I call it Fight Forever because why not? Then we cut backstage where basically the Horsemen are doing a quick promo. Flair says, last night, I prove it's the oldest line. It's the oldest ride, but still the longest line, as I came this close to beating Eddie Guerrero. And, Eddie Guerrero thought he had an off day taken on me, but I proved why I am still a force. And why, as a future 15-time world champion, I can still do this. But it's not about me, but Canyon, the man who's unjustly screwed out the world title. And what Starrcade is going to rise back to the top mountain. Nobody's better than Canyon. Last night I proved that when I beat Palumbo. And tonight, Jarrett, Douglas, they're going to take it to the Guerreros, because that's what we need to do. Tonight we'll prove a point to the Los Guerreros that Chavo, Eddie, he's SOB, but at least he has some talent. You're just hanging on his tail, living off his family name. After what were you doing before Eddie showed up? You weren't even on Nitro. So tonight's going to be a reminder why Jarrett and Douglas held the tag title for last night's, and why nobody's better than Canyon, and why the future is still the Horseman way. 81, solid promo, good stuff. Then basically we go backstage where Shane Helms enters Eric Bischoff's office, and he says, obviously, as the greatest United States champion of all time, I deserve a rematch against Ray Jr., especially since, he didn't even defend the U.S. title last night. And Bischoff is like, yes, but as far as rematches go, first, we waived the 30 days clause because he was part of the tournament, and it wasn't unfair to make him, wrestle twice last night unless he got into the finals. And, you were a great wrestler, Helms. You still are. But you still have to prove yourself to get another title shot. That's why I'll give you your title shot next week. But two things. One, it'll be your last shot at the US title. It's time to put up or shut up. And finally, next week, you gotta beat Tajiri to get a shot at the US title at Starrcade. Pop for that, 76, solid promo. Then we go to the ring, where in a decent match, Lance Storm and Billy Kidman and other Triumvirate team up to take on Blitzkrieg and Yang, and they defeat Blitzkrieg and Yang in a decent match when Lance Storm says pin Yang, so I'm just imagining like a super kick out of nowhere, getting the pinfall victory. This gets a 68. Kidman gets a 89. Jesus, he's getting real good. Lance Storm gets a 70. Yang gets a 58. And Blitzkrieg gets a 55. Just a quick semi-squash win to put Storm and Kidman over as a tag team. And then afterwards, they celebrate to a 70. Good stuff. Then we go backstage, where Los Guerreros are backstage, which gets a 78. As basically, he says, Eddie says, Ric Flair gave me a hell of a match, but, remember you last night, Flair, why you were made in the 80s and 90s, but at 2000s now, and it's time for you to move on, I say, because, Holmes, I'm the world champion, which proves I'm the greatest wrestler in the world, and the best wrestler all over the world, and tonight's going to be no different when we take on Jarrett and Douglas. You guys are great tag teams, and you can talk about slap nuts and being the franchise, but guys, I'm the world champion for a reason, and my cousin is here with me for a reason, because blood is thicker than water, and whatever you two are together, Chavo can do it with me, and we're going to move it forward. 78, perfectly solid promo, and there we go. Oops, what's that? Yeah. And then in that match, and they both had great wrestling and good heat. Jeff Jarrett and Shane Douglas gets the big win over Los Guerreros. When it says, okay, I forgot to mark it as a pinfall. So Jeff Jarrett, let's say, pinned Chavo Guerrero after blatantly cheating. So it hits him with the guitar. But what happens here is basically Kane comes down, drags Eddie off the ring apron. They start fighting. That allows, Chavo gets distracted. Jarrett drops Chavo with the guitar and get the pinfall victory. So again, 85. Douglas gets an 83. Jarrett gets an 84. Chavo gets a 70, and Eddie Guerrero gets a 90. And overall, it gets an 85, like I said. So a really good tag match. And then post-match, it's a quick 3-on-2 beatdown. So basically, they just get, their licks in. Canyon, maybe looks at the title but doesn't quite grab it. And then they all walk away, happy over their evilness that they've done, which gets an 83 and builds up our main event storyline. Then we come back to commercial. Then we go backstage, where we have an AMW promo. Okay, so hold on 1 second, guys. Sorry. Yeah. So okay. Anyway, AMW have a promo. They talk about being the best tag team in the business. They proved it last night because it's not about how good you are; it's also about how smart you are. And look, we're the champs, and you guys are not. So sorry about your damn luck. So this gets a 66, and yeah. So a quick thing before I go over this match. Basically, somehow I must have double-clicked and moved past the Booker and RVD backstage promo. So basically what happens is Booker and RVD are backstage. Booker's still upset about, last night and says, after all that the Deadpool have done, it's pathetic that referees still DQ'd me after I just was getting a little revenge. RVD, says he wants him to calm down and, says tonight's about giving a good licking to the Deadpool. Booker's like, but we need a partner. And then Jeff Hardy comes in and says, I've seen a lot of BS that the Deadpool have done, and now that, I didn't quite get to the finals last night, I'm ready to fight with you guys and put myself on the line to fight evil. And RVD's like, cool, because, Jeff Hardy, RVD probably enjoyed this scene outside of the ring things, and Booker's like, I've seen you kill yourself to win tag matches, and I've seen you kill yourself, brother, but are you willing to really force your body to the limit to fight Deadpool? And Jeff Hardy's like, you got it. And this got an 87, so really good promo. Anyway, and now back to the actual match. As in a good match, Mike Awesome defeated Alex Wright in 10:49 by pinfall with an awesome bomb. So, Alex Wright, gets some, attacks in, but Mike Awesome is on a roll, and eventually, no interference, no bullshit. He just hits the huge awesome bomb right in the middle of the ring, gets a pinfall victory in 10:49. This gets a 69. Nice. Awesome gets a 70. Wright gets 75. No storyline, so it was ding for that. I forgot to advance the, private storyline. Shit happens. But anyway, after the win, Awesome does a promo where he says, O'Hare, you got lucky. You got involved in my business, and that's why Hardy advanced. and you've never faced a real man in the ring, you face three little flippy dudes, and they all fall off those ladders easily, and you're able to climb to the top. But you're given everything. You're given every shot from the time you walked into the power plant. Well, I was told to dress up like a fat couture, but in reality, I'm a killer, and now's the time to prove it. Decent promo, 69. Not the best thing in the world. Then we have a Deadpool in-ring as basically, last night, Morningstar's like, last night we extinguished one flame, as you do not see Sting for a long, long time. And Booker, you have to face the fact that you were lucky when you were the world champion, and that's why Vampiro was able to defeat you and take your precious title off you, and now others are moving past you, even those who call yourselves your friends. After all, who was in that Finals Out ladder match? It was your erstwhile tag team partner, wasn't it? Well, just remember, we have a purpose, which is why we are bound together. What binds Rob Van Dam with you, Booker? Fact, you both dislike us. Well, at the end of the day, every gold always deceives you. Gold always dissolves bonds, and that's why sooner or later, RVD will turn his back on you for victory, or maybe you will, Booker. After all, you're a very angry man. The message says that will be your downfall. And last party, before tonight, you're beneath our notice, but now the message has told us that you too must be destroyed. 84, solid promo. Goldberg, if Morningstar and Vampiro were good at this, Lestat is there. And now, main event time. As in a really good match, 88. In a superb match, Jeff Hardy, Rob Van Dam, Booker T defeated the Deadpool of Lestat, Vampiro, and Morningstar in 1653 when RVD pinned, wait for it, Lestat with a 5-star frog splash. This gets an 88, Booker gets an 83, RVD gets a 91, Jeff Hardy gets an 82, Morningstar gets an 84, Vampiro gets an 83, Lestat gets a 68. So, solid, wild 6-man match, back and forth, everybody fighting. But in the end, what happens is basically, brawl, everything brawls you outside. Hardy does a huge sort of plancha on both Vampiro and Morningstar to the outside. That allows Booker to sort of focus on Lestat, hit the axe kick, then the bookend, but then RVD comes in, tags, basically does a quick tag, and then goes up to top and hits the 5-star frog splash to get the win. Big win for the babyfaces as they get the win over the Deadpool. And again, really good match, 88, especially considered it's Lestat in there. And overall, this show gets an 89. So, not like one of our super great shows, but still, considering, honestly, considering Goldberg and Macias weren't on the show, we had Chavo team with Eddie, but that 100 from here really helped us. That was a shockingly good promo. Yeah. So let's look at what Raw did. So Raw had, of course, they were able to get spot at 90. Okay, so Taker and Angle fought, Randy Orton and the Radicals, defeated K-Quick and TNA, Jericho won a squash, Undertaker, Trish and Ivory defeated Modify and Jackie Gata, Scott Hall and Steven Richards defeating the APA of ITQ, Kane defeating Kevin Nash, and Steve Austin defeated Chris Benoit in a ring ladder match. Okay. Or what do you expect? Okay, so, yeah. And yeah, I got a whole bunch of contracts expiring, which I'll deal with off screen. And then, so yeah, this is probably going to be a little shorter video than usual because we had the long pay-per-views and the long videos involving the world title matches. Not the world title matches, but involving pay-per-views and tournaments and everything. So there's no huge updates for this, but storyline-wise, we got the Fair Plumber feud at an 85 still. We have Cruiserweight Fun at a 46. Ouch. We got Gigantes and Steiner at a 76. We got Goldberg and now Jeff Hardy, Rings Macias Morningstar at an 85. We got Helms Last Chance at an 81. We got O'Hare versus the Triumvirate at a 76. We got the Road to Starrcade at an 85. We got Tag Wars at a 73. We got Booker T, RVD, and Vampiro at an 88. And the Women's Title Showdown at a 56. I didn't show this last night, but creative-wise, so Goldberg's number 1 guy, RVD is number 2, Eddie's number 3, Bray's number 4, Kane is number 5, as you sort of expect. Next big thing is Angel Fox, Jeff Hardy, Jordan Cole, AJ Styles, and Paul London. Hot prospects is Angel Fox, Teddy Hart, Jordan Cole, Paul London, and Lash LaRue of all people. Let's see here. Who's not? Is O'Hare, Kidman, Morningstar, RVD, Canyon. Sort of if you've been watching the show, you should expect that. And Trini Lawler is not hot only because I haven't been using her in the ring. Let's see here. Oh yeah, merch. So last month merch, Goldberg got over 1 million. Number 2 is RVD. Number 3 is O'Hare. 4 was Booker, 5 was Steiner, 6 was Palumbo, 7 was Canyon, 8 was Macias, number 9 was Eddie, number 10 was Vampiro. Then there's Ray, Ric Flair, Sting, and of course, as always, if we go down to the bottom, Bobby Heenan, Jerry Lawler, poor Lance Storm. That's just sad. Let's see, was there anything else I wanted to show you guys? Oh yeah, Bill Goldberg is officially our figurehead. So I set him as the figurehead basically last year, right before we went, basically as soon as I could. So yeah, Goldberg is current figure of WCW. He's been figurehead for 1 year. Based on recent appearance, it's estimated he's having positive effect on the business. Attendance are up by 8% when he appears, and we're selling 35% more merch than normal. So yeah, and if you're wondering, Eddie, it would be overshadowed. So would Booker. And if we're looking at other top guys, Hardy would obviously be overshadowed. And who's our other top baby faces? Yeah, RVD, significantly overshadowed. And O'Hare, lacking. And yeah. And yeah, as a side note, just so you guys know, I put in recaps of Sting will be out for 7 months. So, you know, if you can do your math as far as that goes, you can figure out when he'll be back about. But yeah, actually, like, as you know, sad it is that he had, like, you know, the problems in game. It's actually a positive thing as far as like writing him off, because now I don't need to find a reason for him to disappear for 4 months at a time when I don't want to use him. But yeah, still good stuff. I think that's it. Let me think here. Is there anything else that you guys need to know? Yeah. I mean, our backstage is still, you know, really good. Size-wise, I already showed you guys that. Yeah. Again, wish there was more to talk to you guys about, but, you know, unfortunately, this is just one of those shorter videos that happen occasionally. So that's it for now. So you enjoy this, go ahead and give this a like. Comment below what you're enjoying and not enjoying, and subscribe to the channel for more TEW 2020 content, including this series, my MLW 2005 series, my WCW 1983 with no Eric Bischoff series, and of course, Cornell vs. Weekends, which I'll get back to actually being total weekends now that we're back, now that I have a running computer. And also, you might notice I have a little less background noise. Thank you, new computer. But that's it for now, so talk to you later, and have a good one.